इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन ही नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। Franchise India, 20 years of ideas.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to a special edition on Thursday morning. This is a edition where we invite investors, people who are looking to start a business, and discuss very important aspect in terms of how you should choose the right business opportunity for you. And especially in these times, which is very uncertain times, not every opportunity is going to sustain. But we've seen in last 2 years a lot of opportunities which were well structured, well designed, have actually grown in these times. So friends, the next 45 minutes, we're going to be discussing on how you can start your own business, how you should choose the right brand, and how Franchise India can help you. But before we go ahead, I'll give you a little introduction on Franchise India. So Franchise India was started by me way back in 1999. That time it was coming from my own problem solving. You know, when I was at that age and I wanted to start my own business, I had seen all the resources available, but there was no resource available which can help me start the business. And that was really, something which I felt that was a missing point. A country like India, when you want to start a business, we all talk about startups, we all talk about entrepreneurship. When we really look around and say, what are the resources available for entrepreneurs to go to and really look at options which they can really start? What kind of consultants, media, or any other resources which are available? There was nothing available. And even now, after 24 years of journey of Franchise India and helping millions of entrepreneurs, outside Franchise India, there is nobody else available which actually helps people to start a business. So we were the India's first start your own business platform. We started with a very modest background of starting a magazine and a digital platform, franchiseindia.com. If you've not visited franchiseindia.com, you're missing something. So please go on, visit franchiseindia.com. There are thousands and thousands of opportunities in different industries listed there. So you can really make a lot of choices, This is one of the things I really encourage entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs need to start with exploring themselves, doing a lot of research before they make a decision to start a business. So we started with there, then we started an exhibition company. Exhibition grew to about 200 shows every year to many cities in India, and I'm sure some of you would have actually visited Franchise India shows. And then we started our consulting company, which helps companies which are now looking to franchise their business, because a lot of entrepreneurs started coming to us who have successful businesses and they wanted to grow, and so we started helping them. And also we started a brokerage business which actually goes and consults entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs to really find the right opportunity and give them the right service before they are able to decide on what business they should get in. And it's a very important service we have, and we call it now Advantage. It's your advantage. And what I'm going to do is now give you a little overview about when you're looking to start a business, how you should choose the right business, how should you really prepare yourself to be an entrepreneur, and how you should look at exit. So this we're going to do the first part. Then we'll talk about a little bit on Advantage program, how Advantage program can really help you to make the right choices and structure. So friends, this is very important. One thing you need to be in this webinar, if you really want to be taking maximum, let's be making it very interactive. Use Q&A box. There is a Q&A box at the bottom, which you can ask as many questions you want to do that. I see a lot of people joined in. Thank you for doing that. And also, you need to be very clear about a couple of things. The 4 things which are very important. One, how much capital you want to deploy. That's very important, and where this capital is coming from. And keep making notes because I'll be asking you these questions. Capital, how much you have very clearly available with you. Sometimes people are confused. Like yesterday, I had a call with somebody, a young entrepreneur, and he told me that he wants to invest 15 lakh rupees. And I asked him, where is 15 lakh coming from? He says, up to 10, I will arrange myself, and 5, I'll take a loan. It's a wrong start. And the second thing he told me was my second point is that how much involvement you would do in their own business. And then he said, look, I'm looking for something which can be run by the company and I can just invest and get a return. Now, question yourselves, he's a young guy. And I told him, you're doing the biggest mistake of your life. You first borrowing 1/3 of the capital you have. Second, you're not running your own business. You're giving somebody else to run that. How do you think you will make money? You'll never make money because nobody is out there to take your 15 lakh rupees, work hard for you and give you good return. There is nothing like that exists. So it's a wrong equation. It's a wrong equation of doing it. A lot of entrepreneurs I see are trying to do that. They are in a, I would say, fool's paradise that they feel that the business is just by putting capital can make money for them. I've been in business now over 30 years, and I can tell you it's not easy. It's not easy. I work 365 days, and I still feel this is not enough. So you need to really see that if entrepreneurship gives you great lifestyle, gives you great life, everything it comes with it, but it also is very demanding. It's demanding. You need to prepare and train yourself to become a good entrepreneur. So second thing is involvement. First is capital. Second is involvement. Third is your experience. What is your experience? What you bring on the table outside money? That's also very important. Very, very important. आप क्या लेके आ रहे हैं इस business के अंदर outside cap money? Or that's very, very important. And finally, what is your strategic value? That's also there. What is your strategic value? What is there which you have unique? It might be something, maybe your unique location, you have a strategic property or something like that. Maybe your contacts, maybe your relationships. Maybe you can be a right person to do go to market. All that has to be very, very carefully understood. So friends, my first question coming on a Q&A box, I'll ask a couple of questions and I'll encourage, because over 100 people are there, I'll encourage all of you to answer because that's where we will be making it very interactive. And we will also get into trends, what kind of businesses are going to do well in next 4 or 5 years and so on and so forth. So more we make it interactive, more it will be exciting and valuable for us. My first question is very simple. Are you all comfortable with English or you want me to also include Hindi in this? Use the Q&A box and give me an answer. And if specifically you want English or Hindi, just put the key in the Q&A box and then we get started. Okay, let's see who's the first one to answer. Always I feel that people who answer first are very engaging, right? So they're always proactive in life. So Christian was the first one, English, and everybody's saying English. Umesh is both is fine, bilingual, both Hindi, Chandrasekhar English. So a lot of English. So I'll stick to English and not go Hindi, because sometimes we get some investors from some part of the country where they prefer. There are few are Hindi also now coming in. It's becoming confusing. So I'll try to really see that all of you who are doing that. Now, my first question really always start with mindset. It's the mindset. Entrepreneurship is 80% mindset, 20% anything else. And 20% is all about the idea you create, the timing you have, the hard work you do, the team you build. All that is very important. That's 20% actually, if you ask me. 80% is just being mindset. What do you want from your business? What purpose you have? What problem you want to solve? All that is in your mindset. And great entrepreneurs have great mindset. So my first question to all of you is, give a very honest answer. You've joined a entrepreneur webinar. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to start your own business, right? What is the mindset of your at this stage? How many of you are willing to start your own business and you have a firm date in mind? And how many of you are looking to do in 60 to 90 days or any other date comes to your mind? Give me an honest answer. Give me an honest answer. How many of you want to start your business in next 60 to 90 days or any other date comes to your mind? But if you don't have a date in your mind, then you're not even started your journey to be an entrepreneur. So give me an answer. If anybody comes in, somebody, Jagan said 90 days. Jagan was the first one to do. So he clearly sees his mindset. He's ready. Some are not. Some people are exploring. There is also Mr. Rishabh is also doing 90 days. Krishan is saying 100 days. Uday is saying 90 days. A lot of 90, 60 days. Chandan is 60 and Uday is 90. Chandrasekharan is also looking at that. Narendra is 60. Great. All of you are great guys. So all of you have a specific. And I know a lot of people who have nothing really fixed in their mind and they're always exploring. I had a call with somebody who says, I want to start something in 5 to 6 months and maybe next year I want to do that. So I said, you never start. You will never be able to do it because you don't have even date in mind. All these people are committing the date, might not do it, and might shift this date to something else. But at least they're working towards it. They're working towards their journey to be an entrepreneur. So before we start today's session, one lesson I will give it to you. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a successful business owner, you need to really get this date, D-A-T. This is my principle. D stands for discipline. You need to be extremely disciplined more than anybody around you because everybody actually looks up to you. You are the leader. You want to be the riding the ship. So everybody looks up to you. So you need to be extremely disciplined. A is accountable. You need to be accountable to yourself and to all stakeholders around you. That's very, very important. T stands for training. You need to train yourself to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not easy. We train ourselves to be a doctor. We train ourselves to be an engineer. We train ourselves to be a management consultant. Everything we do. But do we really train ourselves to become an entrepreneur? A lot of people become entrepreneurs just like default. They just start. They wanted to start it. They always had a dream to own a business. But they're not trained. They're not trained. An entrepreneur actually manages a lot of things from ideation to execution to troubleshooting. And any entrepreneur's life, every day has all these three things: new ideas, execution, very hard execution, and a lot of troubleshooting. This went wrong, that went wrong. So are you trained to handle that? Are your mindset clearly doing that? Sometimes you get too much into troubleshooting. You get tired. You're not able to run there. And sometimes you're too heavy on execution. You're just executing. No fresh ideas are coming to you. So as a good entrepreneur, you need to train that how your mind can work on all three. And you have the time for doing that. Good entrepreneurs really plan that. I met a very successful entrepreneur. And he told me that I am a 5 a.m. club. So he starts 5 a.m. in the morning. And 3 hours, he doesn't do anything else. He ideates everything what happens in his business. And he says, this is the most special time for me. And then he gets on to execution and then a little bit of troubleshooting what comes in. And people like them actually have a lesser troubleshooting because they're so planned. They're so planned and they're so well structured. So they have a lesser troubleshooting. So you need to really be somebody like that. And I know other entrepreneurs who are not very disciplined. They're not accountable. They're not trained. Or last E stands for encouragement. You need to encourage. You are alone in this space. When you start your entrepreneurial journey, while your family supports you, your friends like it, but you are alone in this journey. So you need to encourage every day yourself. This is your day. You want to be successful. So take this as a taking point from today. Somebody wants to say, well, I will keep taking questions. So hope everybody is okay with that because I don't want to disappoint anybody asking questions. Understanding this with practicality and showing in screen. Yes, absolutely. You ask questions. I have sold more businesses than anybody else, so I can tell you what works and what doesn't work. And another thing which is very important is selection. If you select the right opportunity, and sometimes opportunity selects you, it can be other way around also. So you need to be really very, very sure what you're selecting and why. And this I start with life goals. A lot of people start the business with ROI in mind. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. Never do this with ROI in mind, because then you're limiting. If Dhirubhai would have started with his small investment and said, I want ROI on this, he would have never been here. So he started with life goal. He started with his dream. He wanted to make something very, very big. That is a starting point. I've seen a lot of people who started so small. I used to follow a gentleman called DK Jain, very senior to me and very close to me. And he started a business called Luxor, a pen company, and became a very big company, about 2,000 crore company. And he used to be going out and scooter all Delhi and selling small pens to small Kirana shops and doing this. So his journey started very small, but he had big life dreams. Big life dreams to build a business, and he built the largest pen company in the country. And sometimes that's something which has to be clear. And so what is your life goals? What is your life goals? What is the major events going to happen in your life? What do you want to do for your family? All that has to be important and be brought in first before you start even thinking about ROI. Because ROI is a very small part of this. It would depend largely on you, how you structure your ROI, how you build your business, how you entire thing. So a lot of people come to me and buy a franchise. They tell me what kind of ROI I expect. I say, it's the other way around. What this business can do for you and what you can make it out of it. That's something which you need to really think through. And I get two types of people who come to me. One are people who say, if I buy this brand, what is going to happen and what kind of support I'm going to get and what they're going to provide me. He's all about asking what you can do for me. Right. And the second kind of very unique ones, there are only 5% of them. They come and say, I need this brand. I know what I can do with this. These are the people who are always successful because they have a plan. They have their own plan. They have a very clear life goals. So always fall in this side club. Don't go here. If you go here, you are only expecting and expecting things to happen for you. Things can become enticing. They are doers. They go out and do it. Right. So it's very, very important that you have. I have a lot of ideas and money, but doesn't know how to invest and operate a business. This is very important. This is a good situation you are in. And if you are in, your name doesn't come in, always start something very small. Because at this stage, it's not about money for you. It's also not about ideas. You have to learn to make the first step right. So always, a lot of people come and say, I have 1 crore and I want to first time getting into business. I say, why do you want to put 1 crore? Start with 20 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees. Build the first business and tell yourself that you are successful in that. Nobody else needs that assurance more than you. You are the one who needs assurance that you can do it. And then you can multiply it. I've written a book called Reproducing Success. So once you have built something successful, it's much easy to reproduce. You continue to reproduce your success. So always think about that. Always think how you can really build this. Want to invest 1 crore in the recent past, buy a commercial property, and now I want to start a business with loan amount. Guide the decision, wise decision to take loan and start a business. Now, if you have a commercial property, this is a good question. Very, very good question. A lot of people come and say, I have a property and I want to start something there. So the first objective for you is that the loan exposure you want to take essentially would come and put your property into a collateral, right? And so it should service two things for you, the business which you start. One, it service your cost of capital. That's very important. So whatever cost of capital you are borrowing at, you need to really do this. So that's very important. And also loan, you have to understand which loan you're taking. If you're taking loan against property, it's much cheaper. And if you're taking a business loan, it's much higher. So you need to really understand and position your loan capability also. So what is your cost of capital? You need to see that the business has to give that. Second, it should also give you return on the time you're involved, because you're going to be putting your own time also. And also the money should be over and above that, which is your return on investment. So is this business which you're choosing going to justify that? And how much justification you can happy to afford? Sometimes a startup business, it can do well, but it takes 6 months to do it. Do you have enough capital or working capital provision in the business you've deployed that you can sustain for 6 months? That's also a very, very important aspect for it. And I want to make a fast moving company franchise in 2000 square feet. Fast moving company franchise, which means you're trying growing company franchise. There are many, many opportunities of that. And many opportunities in healthcare, education, retail, fashion, services, in so many of opportunities available. So let's quickly get started. Keep asking questions. A good set of people are there, so we can really have more and more questions coming in. More questions you can talk about. Some opportunities come to your mind which you are exploring, and you want me to give you some idea about what kind of ROI you can expect. Say a lot of people come to us and say, I want to start FMCG, I want to start pharma, I want to do this. And anything which comes to your mind, keep asking question and I'll give you, even territorially. You can ask me question and say, in this city, what can be the right opportunities one can really start? And you can also share your experience, that you have this experience and what kind of opportunity would fit your experience. So friends, let's start with the 10 points, and I will do it in order. If you are getting into starting a business, this is the 10 points you should follow. The first is the selection of the industry and the business you want to start, or the brand you want to select. A lot of people come to me with a brand in mind. So they're very specific, and they say, can you get me this? Like yesterday, somebody called me, can you get me Grofers? I say, Grofer is fine, but are you getting into in a supermarket business? That's what you want to do. First, you need to define what you want to be in. Grofer would come second. It can be another brand also. So when you are looking to start or select an opportunity, first start with industry, not with the brand. Industry is very important. Unless and until you understand the industry, the complexity with that industry, the operational capability required in the industry, the growth in that industry for next 3 to 5 years, the competition in that industry and how it is changing. It's changing drastically. Like this now, Amazon is also late now. People are ordering from Instamart, which is giving you deliveries in 10 minutes. So even at that level, there is a lot of disruption going on, and people are shifting. People are shifting because they want to give to Instamart orders because they want to get it even more faster, quick, while the range is bigger, much bigger than at Amazon. So they are even fighting out Amazon. So there is a disruption going on there. So you need to really see that every business these days goes through a huge amount of disruption, competition, micro competition, unseen competition, which comes in. Like food business saw unseen competition coming from these delivery platforms. Swiggy and Zomato actually disturbed entire food industry in last 5 years. They were controlling everything. What people are going to buy, how they're going to be seeing, how when you open up Swiggy and Zomato, they know exactly how to show you what you want, really. So it's all about business analytics. They know what time you eat what, and they would show you things like that. So this all is a big disruption. An average restaurant owner who is a small business doesn't know this all capabilities, right? So he's not able to compete. So you need to really be sure that what industry you're choosing, are you ready for that industry? Second, that industry you see continue to grow over the next 3 to 5 years, and what it takes to do well in that industry. That's very, very important. Once you've chosen that industry, like for example, if everybody's talking about e-vehicles, right? E-vehicle is a future. I feel that in the next 6-7 years, everything on the road would change. Everything on the road would change. And a country like India, when everything on road is changed, which means that we are the world's #1 two-wheeler market, entire two-wheelers would change. So if you really look at that, there can be no bigger opportunity which is hitting us than this whole e-vehicle, e-infrastructure, and so on and so forth. But it's going to be very tough business for next 2 years because gestation is going to be very high, and there would be a tipping point, and suddenly it will change, suddenly become inclusive. I remember telecom days. I started 95 telecom business. Outgoing was 16 rupees, incoming was 8 rupees. Even in current times, nobody can afford. And in those times, it's very small penetration. But everybody knew the technology has come. It would just be another day when everything would disrupt. And this happened when Reliance launched a 500 rupee phone, no incoming, no outgoing, and so on and so forth. And it just disrupted. It's just disrupted and went out. Same thing is going to happen on this. Energy is going to change everything. And the new energy structures would change everything. So it will have everything will change around us, not only in the vehicle space, but a lot of other things which are going to happen in this. So if you are getting into a futuristic industry, you need to have that patience, a patience of the early years to sustain yourself. But there would be a time where it will become very big. So that's also an opportunity. I think sometimes people are ready for that futuristic thing, but some are not ready because you have to pay your EMIs, you have to do this. You're not ready to do that. So industry is very important how you choose that. Our consultants are spread across India, and they've really worked with you over many days to really shortlist the right industry and why we are doing it. And if you've not spoken to our independent franchise consultants and our direct teams across India. We are operating in 95 cities. Set an appointment right today itself. That's very important, because if you set that and start working with them, just don't see them as just information place where they would get information on different brands. Work with them to understand what kind of industry are becoming exciting and what kind of success stories we have seen in this industry. And they maybe ask for a small white paper to be done by them and give it to you absolutely free of cost to really understand what industries you can invest, because it's your hard-earned money, and more importantly, your very important career is on stake. Once you have done the industry, then go on a brand. What brand you want to really select, and why you're choosing this brand over his competition. Every brand has multiple competition. Like an e-vehicle, there are 300 companies producing a vehicle in India. Why are you choosing this particular company over balance of 299? That's very important. And why they would be able to support you better. They have a more reach in your territory. You will be able to get better training from them, and a lot of other things which would come in this part of the brand. This is very critical to do that. Never just get super excited by one company and doing it without even understanding the landscape. Then you need to really match your financial goals, which I told you, your life goals and your financial goals. Is this business going to give you that your goals both on short term and long term? And finally, understand your territory, your location. Would this location of yours we be able to justify this business? Keep business close to where you live. Don't put yourself in discomfort. A lot of people put that into discomfort, and they're like, for example, somebody opens up a business very far from your place, and if it is not a very strategic place, like factories, you have to do it because your sourcing is there, raw material is easy available. Like if you are a pharma company, you will open up in Uttaranchal because you have subsidy and things of that nature. That's all right. But if you are doing something else which can be done in any geographical location, keep the business closer to you so that you can give the maximum time and involvement to that business. So that's one part of the starting point. The second is your funding. What kind of funding would you require to service your business? And funding, you have to be very honest about it. Very, very honest about it. And that's something which you need to see. I will not encourage any entrepreneur to take too much of loan. Loan is, India cost of capital is very high. And the mistake some of the entrepreneurs do, they take personal loans or NBFCs and likes of them. Loan itself is 14-15%. How do you make money? I have no argument in this country where everybody talks about startups and things like that. Actually, cost of capital kills this country to be really ready for startups, because not everybody gets angel funding or VC funding and things like that. While we talk about that, there's a lot of money available. But if you want to start maybe a small restaurant or a salon, it will not get an angel funding. So you need to really bring funding from outside. And if people bring it from loan, they're just not going to make money. Or they would just make enough money to just service their capital, which they have taken as a loan. So rather, I would say be creative. Be very creative to bring some partner along with you or multiple partners along with you. I went to a pub in Bangalore, and there were three guys I met, three founders, and I met them, and they were working in a bank, big bank, and they left that and started this pub, and now they have a chain. They have now about 9 or 10, and 250 people in their team itself, in their banking team, they encourage them to invest with them. So somebody invested 2 lakh, somebody invested 3 lakh, and these three people came out of the job and started. So what happens now? You have 250 people which are investors in your one pub, and they go out and use this more often. So everybody wins, right? So sometimes people are becoming creative. These are entrepreneurs who are becoming creative. They're doing crowdfunding. They're doing many kind of other things. You all can do in these times. If you have a good business plan and good structure, you can raise money. That's easy to do that. But never take too much of debt. Not go beyond 30% of your initial equity as a debt, because you not be able to service that. Ask yourself, even these large companies collapsing, almost every big company is going into NCLT. If they are not able to service debts, where the cost of capital is very low, how can a small business with higher cost of capital be able to survive? So it's a very logical thing to do this. Third is real estate. You need to understand your real estate best. Where the real estate should be, where should you house the business? What is your cost of occupancy? That's also very, very important. What is your cost of occupancy? Again, very important aspect. Understand that. Legal contracts, never be light on your legal contracts. You need to do your legal contracts right. your property you're signing up, the franchise agreement you're doing. Franchise agreement is very critical. I did a session which we can share with you on 20 points you need to cover when you're signing a franchise contract. It's a very, very critical document. Never, ever ignore that. I have not seen even the best of the friends or companies starting with a very friendly note. Relationship change, and everything changes as they go along in the business. And things are not like in COVID times. Even best of your friends have become enemies because situations have changed. So you have to be very, very particular that you are able to do that. Now, finally, is drawing your own business plan and financial plan. Whenever you are doing, and this is where our consultants help you a lot. We help you in terms of how you should design your right business plan and a financial plan. And that you should do it. It might be a 10 lakh rupee business which you're starting. You need to write your own business plan. It might be a 3-page plan or a 5-page plan, but you need to draw a direction. What resources are required for doing this business? What kind of life cycle of sales cycle you will be able to achieve? How your sales is going to grow quarter to quarter, and so on. So how you're going to improve your margins quarter to quarter. All that pieces has to be drawn. It becomes your, so to say, roadmap to look at what you want to do with your business. Sixth is, if you're taking a franchise, always ask for a critical support from a franchisor. Now, a lot of people go to franchise company and say, how are you going to support me? I am expecting everything from you. I think you should turn around the table. It's your business. It is your business which you're starting. Franchisor is only giving you brand, giving know-how, maybe helping you, assisting in training, assisting you in supply chain, things like that. But it is your business. The first thing you should really ask any franchisor and say, I need a 10-day comprehensive training. I want to understand everything, how this business is run. And then only I will decide that this business is right for me or not. Sometimes you have to do it even after that. Once you sign the contract, they would not like to give you too much of information before you've not even signed. But even if you've signed, you need to insist minimum of 10-day complete training. In McDonald's, if somebody is taken a master franchise also with the investment of very large investment, maybe 100 crore investment, they would also spend 3 months minimum in another similar market to understand how the business is run. That is a must for McDonald's. I have been part of a university at Subway. They run a Subway sandwich university. I've gone to McDonald's university. We have gone to, these are all universities. They train people. They train hard. That they understand the culture. They understand the value system. They understand how to run a business, whom to hire, how to deploy, how to define roles. All that is very, very important. If you're not trained yourself, you will always be dependent on the franchisor. So please train yourself. Also ask for a local store marketing. Also ask for a brand manual. Ask for a supply chain margin, where the supply chain is going to come from. All the critical things which are required to run and operate the business. Never shy away not to ask question. Even if Franchise India is working with you, encourage our team also, consultants also, and say, I need a lot of answers before I make a decision to invest. Once you have now started your business, you need to first define 4 cycles of your business. First cycle is incubation. This is another mistake a lot of entrepreneurs do. When they start, they create razzmatazz, they put ads, they want to show the world that they've started a business. Actually wrong. Because you've started a business, but you don't know anything about that business. You don't know how it is going to go. So first 3 months, you need to be quiet. You need to really learn everything. You need to really service every single customer who comes to you. You need to talk to a customer. How can I make things better? How can I improve things? Give regular feedback to your franchisor. Understand every single role in that business, every single smallest role in the business. You are the one who's sometimes sitting at the reception. You're sitting at every single role you're doing yourself, and writing that role and defining that role so you can guide your team. They can also do this and that. This is the most tiring part of the business, because you've not learned it. Something goes wrong. And in the next first 3 months, you need to really keep the animal in control. You need to keep it controlled. Once you are able to do that, that's where the second stage comes in, stability. Now you don't want to have everything going wrong. Now everything is coming into some kind of stability. Your team is stable, your things are happening, and so on and so forth. And then you get to the third stage where you create all the noise, because this is your growth stage. Growth is always enjoyable. Scaling is always enjoying part of a business entrepreneur journey. You need to enjoy it. You need to really grow every single day. You're all over, you're doing marketing, collaborations, all that pieces. and your team is doing it and is getting rewarded, incentivized, and that's where you're growing your business. And then comes in even bigger stage, which is sustainability. That the business can run now without you also, and it is sustainable because everything is now on some kind of auto mode. When I say auto mode, doesn't mean that you have no eye to it and you are gone and not looking after your business, which means that the business is running by itself. So very important aspect for any entrepreneur should do is to first incubate, bring it to profitability and sustainability. This is a cycle. Think in your mind that I would like to incubate something which is cash break even. Then I make it very profitable. Then I make it sustainable. Once you have achieved the sustainability stage, and then the stage comes in to really bring in your team up that stage, because they are the one who are going to be looking after your business, and then you can release yourself from this business and go out and invest into some other business. And another thing which I sometimes advise entrepreneurs is not to do another creative thing, right? Sometimes you make it very successful something, the best is to duplicate that, because now you can multiply the same thing and really create a big business out of it. But you need to release yourself. Smart entrepreneurs, what they do, they build the business, make it profitable, sustainable, pass it on to leadership team. They have these co-founders in every business. They build the co-founders, they are actually nurtured. They put them on responsibility, start monitoring from distance, and put their energy into something, building again, building again, building again. That's where you create value. That's where the value is created. And finally, if you build a business which has value being built, which means the business is sustainable and it is growing and it doesn't need you also, and you are there to be as a mentor to your business has built serious value. At that time, you need to create an event to sell that business. Sell the business, disinvest that business, or do a logical IPO or any other thing. And that creates wealth in your life. So I have really realized that over the time of my 30 years of experience as helping entrepreneurs, that there should be a very clear mindset when you want to start a business, an equal mindset when you want to really find an event to get wealth creation from your own business. And this can be 3 years, this can be 5 years, this can be 10 years, depending on what you have for your structure. And this is a journey you should do. This is a journey, then it will become enjoyable, it will become accountable for you, and you will be able to do that. So friends, this was the first part, and I will now go into advantage. Before I go into that, keep asking questions. I can take more and more your questions. Go out and ask anything which I've said on that aspect. You can also ask on any other thing which comes to your mind, any opportunity which you're looking at. Somebody is asked, what is the minimum investment to start a franchise? You can start a franchise with 5 lakh rupees also. And maybe a courier franchise or a logistic franchise or a smaller business. And it can go up to 300 crores or 500 crores. You want to start a 5-star hotel, it can be a 500 crore opportunity, or take a master franchise. Another thing which people don't do is don't understand the potential of area and a master franchise. Area and master franchise are great opportunities. When you take an area, set the first or 2-3 locations, then sub-franchise. Build the network yourself. And then you get recurring income coming from your network you build, and build a big value. Big value. And India would see, if you are, say, a successful master for a company, you'll build a great value on that. So if you not explored area or master, we have tons of opportunities, great opportunities in area and master. You can really go out and write in the Q&A box also that you are interested in area or master. My team would pick it up, and we can set up a call. And I'm also doing some calls on this weekend. And if you are particularly interested in that kind of investments, I'll be happy to have a direct call with you. So what after amount, after franchise amount, what we have to give extra amount depends on what franchise you take. It might be royalty, or it might be percentage of margin, which you would give it to the franchisor. Keep asking more questions, and let's get on to the advantage program. Why this program was created and what value it brings in. Over the time of last 24 years and working with so many investors, I've realized that what really reduces your risk, really speaking, is the amount of research you do. That's the only thing which can reduce your risk. It will not eliminate your risk, but it will reduce your risk, because now you're going with eyes open. You know what you're getting into. You have done enough research to really invest that. And over the years, we have created a structure, what I call the 3-stage structure: information, evaluation, and negotiation. How do you get right information? authentic information, accurate information, researched information. This is very, very important. How you get that information. Second is evaluation on that brand, and evaluating yourself, that are you best suited for this. Every business can make sense, but are you somebody who's suited for this? Do you have enough resources to justify this business? That's very, very important part of it. That's evaluation stage. And third, which is even more critical, where our consultants really champion, is negotiation. Negotiation. Even if I am able to negotiate one single clause in your agreement better than you would have done it, it's worth that effort, right? Like, for example, there was a client which I was negotiating for a master franchise, and they hired me. They have already shortlisted the brand. They had negotiations with the brand, almost ready to sign the check, and they then hired me. I asked them, everything is done. Now, why you want to hire me? And they were paying me a good fee, up to 10 lakh rupees in that fee. He says, but we want you to review the legal agreement we're doing, and we want you to be part of our negotiations. And friends, the only thing which I changed was I got a term extra for them, and I negotiated hard. A term extra would mean in a master franchise 10 years extra. So it was a 10 plus 10. I got another plus 10. So 30-year contract. So that might look like simple now, but if you see from a value creation viewpoint, 20 years from now, that business would be very different. And at that stage, losing a license would be very, very critical. So sometimes even a smallest point can make a big difference. And because of over the years, we have learned that what can be critical for entrepreneurs, especially people who are starting business first time. They don't know what to ask. They need help. They need that mentorship and guidance before they start making that investments on the business. So it's very important. So information, evaluation, and negotiation. So I'll take a few questions and then tell you what is the Advantage program and how you can do that. And today is a special day, the only day we did a Republic Day special. So today it ends end of the day. So somebody franchise work for Naveen Joshi. I want to start a business in immigration sector and study. It's a good sector, very good sector. Study abroad, live abroad, work abroad, but very crowded sector, and a lot of unethical practices also happen in the sector. So you need to be partnering with somebody who's really good, authentic, right, structure, and so on and so forth. Then only the business is very good. Franchise policy, you will be the same business in future. It is true. You will do the same business in future. I didn't understand your question. If you can elaborate more, how do you have about a successful franchise model with respect to a city? And yes, we can give you what models can work in your city, what industries would work in your city, and what brands you can choose on that. And then do a little bit validation. I tell somebody, like, everybody, that look, when you start a regular franchise, you have to ask your question. You're not creating a new market. You're converting the market, which means, say I start a salon. Okay, salon industry always growing. People are becoming more conscious about grooming. They're spending more. All that is fine. But when you open up a salon, you have to tell yourself that somebody is using something somewhere already, which means that nobody is waiting to get a haircut just because my salon is going to open up. They are already using somewhere. So it means that 100% of market is already addressed. 100% of market. Nobody sleeps without having food. Nobody has an issue of not having a haircut. Everybody is getting that done. So which means that when you open up, you're going to convert somebody from somewhere. What is your value proposition that you will be able to do that? That's a big question. It's not that you're creating a new market, right? The market has already been 100% addressed. So this is how it needs to be done. Yes, somebody's asked question, is it illegal to do a business with other name when you've taken a franchise? If you want to shift for your franchise, if I ask a question, and start your own brand or shift into another brand, then you need to really read your agreement. If the agreement had non-compete, then franchisor can come after you. And sometimes non-compete with some kind of a defined penalty can become even more serious. So we can help you to understand where you are, and sometimes the franchisor are happy to give mutual exit. In today's scenario, which sector do you think is good for a good opportunity? Every sector is good. India is a big consumption market. We consume the most, and we'll continue to consume next 20, 25 years. But I'm a big fan of these days technology-based direct-to-home kind of businesses. That's going to be the big pull. Anything which I can bring to your home, I can bring laundry to your home, I can do cleaning services to your home, I can bring grocery to your home, pharmacy to your home, even liquor sooner would come to your home. So anything which has a connectivity of interface with direct to consumer can work on very big data analytics. That businesses I'm a big fan of now. Rather, I'm creating a lot of franchise models around it. And I want suggestions on type of business in what areas. Many businesses, Chandan, which we can do that. That's why you need to really set an appointment with our consultants. So quickly, let's go on the Advantage program and why we created this program. You have to all appreciate that Franchise India has been around 24 years. Every single day, Franchise India would get more than 5,000 or 10,000 inquiries, which would hit our call center, our offices or our teams across India. It's impossible for us, apart from giving them some basic information, some free webinars like these or other things, we cannot service the requirement of individuals, every individual. So we started a program called Advantage. Only people who are qualified and have really committed themselves that this 6 months, next 6 months, they would like to do a business. And that's where we work with them, because we understand that next 6 months, they're going to make the decision of investment. So we start with 1 hour evaluation meeting. So we have to register them. They become our members, Franchise India members. And we do a 1 hour evaluation meeting with them, 1 hour detailed evaluation meeting. If you want to buy an area or a master franchise meet, then I will do that 1 hour. If you have investments which are more than 2 crores, then I will do that 1 hour with you. So 1 hour of that evaluation meeting, that's very critical meeting. It's actually about knowing you, your risks. And investors already open up with us. They tell us that, look, I have this minimum cost. Like professionals come to us and they come and say, I'm already making 1.5 lakhs. If I leave this job, I need 1.5 lakh means tomorrow. I don't have a waiting because I have EMIs going on. So we understand where are we coming from? What is the thing which really is the most sensitive for you? Once we have done that, we do our research, homework, and come back to you with 1 hour of industries which can work with you. And this is based on a lot of research. Once that industry, say we choose 4 industries, and we decided that these 4 industries are great, you need to focus on that, and this is what you want to focus. So 4 industries we choose, then we work on selecting brands in those 4 industries. Say somebody chose D2C, somebody chose e-vehicles, somebody chose healthcare, somebody chose education. So let's understand what is happening in education, how education is changing, what industries, what is exciting, which is happening on that. Then we do 10 brands shortlisting. 10 brands are shortlisted, and then we start organizing your direct call with the brand owners or management team of the entire thing. All top leaders of that company would come and have a discussion with you, give you a full presentation. Minimum call is 30 minutes. Sometimes it is 2 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours, but minimum call is 30 minutes because you get meaningful time with the understanding of the brand. Now ask yourself, you've done 1 hour of self-evaluation, you've done 1 hour on industry selection, you've done at least 5 hours on the brand part. You're so intelligent now to even ask the right questions. Sometimes I come to these webinars, people are not even asking right questions because they've not done that, right? So if you have done that kind of thing, you made your notes. Rather, I encourage everybody who starts with me on this program and say, put a diary and write it yourself, this is my date with entrepreneurship, and start from there. And you should fill this diary. Before the last page comes in and say, I commit to start, you've really filled the diary. You've really written everything that comes to your mind. You've done a lot of comparatives. Then we do a lot of sessions with you on bringing you on knowledge webinars. We do everyday knowledge webinars. We also bring you to our shows. We also do a 1 year of advisory session, 1 year or 6 months, depending on the package you're taking. 30 minutes of legal advice. Once you sign the contract, our lawyers would come in and work with you on critical areas of 30 minutes of what legal structure needs to be done. And then we work on the deal structuring. Deal structuring is the negotiation part of it. Remember, that is a time which takes minimum. Sometimes it takes 2 days, sometimes it takes 3 days, sometimes it takes 5 days. for doing the deal structuring. And we work with you on your interest. Unless and until you say that, and sometimes you're on a signing table and you decide that not to go about it, we are with you. We say, let's not do it. Let's not do anything in haste. Rather, I've given clear instruction to all my teams and say, never ever try to make an opinion on that particular brand and say, this brand is great, sign up this and that. I think we don't want to. We want to give you knowledge. We want to give you all the expertise that you are able to, you are now ready to make that decision that you want to invest into that. So this is what the opportunity of advantage is, what it costs you. Next slide, please. So it costs you 25,000 rupees for 12-month period, and success fees is 50,000 rupees when you are signed the franchise and you're happy with the services. So essentially you pay only 25,000 rupees. Now this offer we have reduced for 3 days, which was day of 25th, 26th and 27th, for only 15,000, which is the last day today running. It's a Republic Day offer. 15,000 rupees stay. Tomorrow, if you do that, it will be 25,000 rupees. Today, if you'll do it, it's 15,000 rupees. And you can reach out to any of our team members if you are genuinely interested to take and commit yourself and start your journey towards entrepreneurship. So I want to really take a Techo franchise. So that website is showing 1-2 lakh rupees. Yes, absolutely. There are many small franchises available, which you can explore. And there are few other questions which are very repetitive, so I'm not taking that. So friends, if you are interested in doing this piece and if you are interested to take a franchise, this is your opportunity to really start. And I don't say that you just work with Franchise India, that's your call. But I obviously say that if you have taken a chance to come to this webinar and understood this journey, and it can even slightly motivate you to start your journey, at least start your journey. Set your first goal, first event you decide when you want to make that call to start your entrepreneurial journey. And also from there, define when you want to do that event, second event, which is going to be your wealth creation, where all that what you dreamed would come true. And I've seen entrepreneurs like that. I've seen entrepreneurs who dream big and they had a very date in mind when they all dreams would come true. So that's a great entrepreneurial journey. So if you have any feedback, you can go out and write on my email ID. I'll put my email ID on this. It's called gm@gauravmaria.com. You can write on gm@gauravmaria.com. So I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, take your feedback, any suggestions, anything you want to hear from Franchise India, because Franchise India is the biggest start your own business platform. Anything you want to hear from us, which can help you know more, learn more, educate yourself better, research better, and then finally take a decision to start a business. So if you're interested, Kanika is my colleague. She's on the call. She leads the entire Advantage program. Reach out to her if you are interested to be part of her program called Advantage. And thank you very much. Thanks for your time today. Enjoy your rest of the day. And hopefully you all start your entrepreneurship.